Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. As always, thanks for all your ongoing support, likes, subscribes, shares, comments, discussions, hints, tips, tricks, all massively appreciated. And a warm welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. And of course, my existing subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Right, so today we're doing Fusso coat, 12 month durability wax coat. And to prepare for that, we have built Hamber touchless in the MJJC for the pre-wash, and then we have Garage Therapy Zero Decon shampoo in the Polar Blaster to provide lubrication for the contact wash, and then 20 or 30 mil of decon wash also in the wash bucket, just to make sure we've got the required strength and cleaning power to get the job done. So I think for a break from the norm for you all today, we'll get the prep part done at breakneck speed. We'll speed this bit up, and as Rizzlekick said, we'll skip to the good bit. Super job. So if I was doing, for example, the Fiesta or indeed the Fabia, I would of course do probably fallout, tar and glue, clay bar, and possibly not on the Fabia because I've polished that recently, but for the Fiesta I would consider a machine polish. But because the Forester paint is 6 months old and it's driven far less than it used to be, we don't need that. So we're just gonna, like I say, skip to the good bit. So I'm gonna zip it, we'll get this rinsed, and then we'll do the contact wash. I will continue to zip it, we'll get round that, and then I'll grab a seat, grab some clean microfibers, and we'll get straight into the fun bit. First of all, we'll 50-50 the bonnet, and then we can test hydrophobicity on a 50-50 of the bonnet. Then we'll get round and do the rest. Right, so that has satisfactorily taken care of the pre. So we'll go straight in with decon. Just make sure we've got enough to go around, which we do. And that's that gone. So that is the fundamentals of the pressure wash foaming. I should say the fundamentals of the foaming side dealt with. One more rinse, full dry, and we're away. And I will continue with the zipping it. Right, so I've moistened the applicator pad and opened product. So I'll just have a little spread around in there, and then we'll start on a section of the bonnet. Work this in, actually it said to crosshatch, I remember. I just reviewed the video earlier and it said to crosshatch. So let's get this all worked in. And apparently the reason you moisten it is to help get even coverage. So we shall see. So we'll do this section, give it time to adhere to the surface. And then let it cure, move on to some other panels, and we can sit and have a nice mellow application of that on a couple of panels. So it says 5 to 8 minutes, I believe. Longer in cooler weather, less time in boiling hot weather. And we're going to use Garage Therapy Dual Towel. And it says, dual towels, 2 sides, higher weave suited for removing soft waxes and sealants, and the shorter weave for harder waxes. Short weave side, longer weave side. So we are set in that department. So we'll set her down there. I'll set a timer, and then we can look at working that panel, that section off. Actually, while it's there, I might as well get the other stuff, the other section done. I like giving myself ideas while we're talking. Clearly. And as I often say on the channel, my first time is your first time. So there's always room for learning. So I will learn, progress, learn the foibles, shortcomings, etc., of the product, if indeed there are any, and learn from application errors, if there are any. So we'll just work that in. Get that little section done. The applicator's all right. Plenty pliable. So you can sort of dog bone it to get round the jets. Let's get half the scoop done. Just distribute a bit in there, stay away from the little gasket. Surround. Get that done. Get this in a safe place. Pop something over the top just to stop flies. Have a quick look at the timer. So clock's saying 4 minutes. So I'm going to leave that a little bit longer. Let's just pause and I'll be back. So I'll use that time just to go and get seat in readiness. So let's start on this. Oh. Circular motions for the removal. So it said, just want to get that nice straight line there, which is pretty defined actually to my eye. Right, let's just get this bit. This was our first test section. Not seeing any problem with removal. Feels nice. Just try not to go into the bit that I feel hasn't had quite its full time yet. We must be coming up on that. Yeah, well, it's easy to remove. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that easy. Just get it buffed to my satisfaction. And we'll let that cure for a bit. Nice. Not sure if the camera can quite pick that up, but there is a, to my eye, you could just see a break. Anyway, that's nice. Happy with that. Right, let's get the camera up. Let's get all that section worked in, worked off and in, I suppose. And then we'll leave this for a short period of time while I do some other panels. We can do that together. And then we'll do a watering can test. So I might get away with a little bit less cure time due to the heat. Just get a little bit down there. Nice, nice. Just going to try the plush side for a bit. Also, no complaints. Maybe not quite as effective as the tighter weave side, so we'll just continue with that. Like I say, I reckon I can reduce the amount of time it's sitting for definite. So I'll try that on the next panel. And maybe I was a bit too gung-ho, should we say, trying to do that whole section. Should be patient. Just get rid of any residue. And hopefully, in say 15-20 minutes, we'll do a water test and we'll see what the water action's like. Right, let's just pull back a bit. Already starting to see that. Nice, deep, warm glow associated with this type of product. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention at the start, this is the dark version for obvious reasons. So we'll give that time to cure fully and then we'll do some water test. We'll obviously get that dried immediately. Right then, let's get cam. I'm going to pause, get it lowered, and then we'll get into a wing. So, now's the time just to start hustling round. I won't bore you to death with the entire process, but we'll certainly, apologies, get through a couple of panels. Right, let's do a smaller section, and then we'll try taking it off quicker just to see what happens. So we'll get that liberally distributed, because even when I was applying it, you know, it said when you start, it starts sort of, you get that kind of chalky vibe, then it's started to adhere to the surface. Well, I started to experience that as I was applying it. So I won't touch it. I want to, but I won't. Right, let's move on to the next bit along. Because that way we've got a number of test patches and we can try different dwell time. I'm just going to make sure it's all still in shot. Good. There we go. And we'll just do this bit. And then we've got 3 different dwell times. Not scientific. I'm not starting a timer. But once we see what happens with that first one, then I can take a cue from that. Once I know what's going on, how the product's behaving, etc., etc. And I can see that we are definitely fully chalked up already. Yep, that is bone dry and baked on. So we will get straight in to all the others. So we'll just bust straight through them and see how we progress. My apologies. I need to get my cloth organised so I can do some... Oh, blimey. I wanted to be doing radial motion. I'm going to dig straight into this. So this was the last. Better. So this hasn't got that sort of real hard work type sense to it, which is good, because that means I can get it on quick and I'm not going to be out here till midnight. So it's going to be very close to on, off ish type of action for me, which is nice. Like I say, that then means I won't be out here till midnight. I won't end up single, and I can go and enjoy a beer in the sunshine. But what I'm going to say, oh, it's lovely doing this panel because you've got some curvature and some shape. Apologies. Because you've got some curvature and some shape. It's really satisfying. I'm not experiencing any streaks, not too much drama removing the product. It's all good. It's all good. Lovely. So, door not coated, wing coated. Lovely, lovely. Right then, let's get into, let's try one off the blazing heat, shall we? For total fairness to the product. So we'll get into this door. We'll do cam check. Just do bug removal, fun. I'm going to re-wet the applicator in a minute too. So we'll cross hatch here, and like that, and one more that way, and that is worked in. Just going to sprinkle this with water from the watering can. Now I suspect what's going to happen on the cooler panel, we're not seeing any, it hasn't started to chalk up, settle, none of that. It's still, yeah, just on the cusp I would say, of turning. So let's try working that in straight away just to see how that is. It's starting to go. Radial. Funny actually, brain set, it's funny because it says crosshatch on, radial off. Brain just keeps having a little think about that, as you clearly experienced. So it's not a huge amount of difference. Cooler panel. Oh, still nice though. God, it feels lovely. Right. Oh, superb. Superb. Right then, let's go and do the water test. Just gonna secure the applicator and the cloth. We'll do a water test. Let me pause and get the tripod up. There we go. I'll bring you in for a close-up as well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right, let's bring you down. So as you'd expect, on the untreated side, you're getting nice accumulation, and on the treated side, lovely beads. Okay, so let's get in for that. Sorry, my watering can's rubbish. Look at that. The big ones are just streaking off. See ya. Right, you know what's coming next. It's going to remove the sprinkler. So, yeah. The water action's all right. Blimey. It's like hose drying. God, that is seriously impressive. Right, I'm going to do one more. I'll slow-mo this bit. Bone dry. Wow. Right, let's pan back, have a good look at the car. I'm going to get round, get that applied absolutely everywhere, and we'll have a look at the shine at the end. But, you know, so far, from a hydrophobic stroke water action point of view, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what would normally happen, and this is what did happen. Right, let's get that dry, get it applied all over, and I'll see you at the end. And that is that. So right, let's have a quick talk about some of the pros and cons. I did have slight problem with water spotting, but that was my own fault, because when I did the water action test on the left-hand side of the bonnet, that dried itself. I thought I won't bother drying the other side. I'll let the polish deal with that. Not true. What it did is lock in some of those water spots, and bad. Wings, doors, rear quarters, bumpers, skirts, spoiler, spats, front bumper, all wonderful. Roof, nightmare, absolute nightmare, because of the bugs, pollen, heat. It was like a superheated lid, and yeah, it was mildly upsetting. So really, it could do with like a machine polish again, and then straight into applying Fusso. Anyway, as you can see, she has got a wonderful shine about it, and for the most part, it was really, really enjoyable. Obviously, I'm going round still chasing, a bit like old school, when you were applying turtle wax or something. So that powdery vibe. And when you move on to the next panel, you've done one to perfection that is happy for you. And then you realise that you've pushed some of the particles from the next panel you're working on, and you've pushed them onto here, up the A-pillar, on the glass again, or maybe got a bit stuck in that little crevice, etc, etc. So it's that kind of vibe. Anyway, what I will say is a couple of things. It was far, far easier than you might think. It was quite labour intensive, so it's nowhere near your wipe on, wipe off modern day chemicals that make your life really easy. But look at it. I mean, let me just stand still. I mean, the shine, the depth of the shine is wonderful. The effect it had on the black, wonderful. And also, distant memory for me now, hopefully not for you guys because you've been watching the video, but the hydrophobicity test, man, water action. God, that was something else. Obviously, like I say, jokingly, that is now a distant memory for me, and I have been questioning my sanity, and I'm starting to feel quite tired now, having valeted to a good level 3 cars today. Obviously, I polished the tail lights and the headlights, you know, and like I say, you just can't go wrong. I mean, if the car was stored inside, I probably would have knocked it on the head an hour ago and gone, right, I'll do more tomorrow. But the reality of that is, come tomorrow, she will be absolutely peppered once again with flies, pollen, etc, etc. But yeah, you know, like I say, highly impressive. I've used next to none. You can't even tell how much I've used. So lovely product to work with. What I found best, I mean, this side, fine. Sat down, I would do the entire upper and then buff it straight away, and then do the entire lower, buff it straight away, repeat the process on the back door, and then do the skirt in one go and leave the spats till last. So that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actions, and you'd have that entire section out the way. I think I've probably missed up here, which is a shame, but I can hit that another day. I didn't do the roof rails, which also is a shame, but there's always another day. Every other last millimetre of the car is done, as you can see, because it has got a wonderful shine about it. And that is it. Let's just have another little sit in there. Wonderful, wonderful. It's the water action, you know, that's the thing. I think that's the absolute be all and end all of the product. You know, if it lasts anywhere near as long as they say and has water action like you experienced when I tested it on the bonnet, then you just cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. Anyway, right, that's it. I have got to get as much away as humanly possible, reorganise where the cars are parked, and that includes not under here, not under where them pigeons poo. I'll get everything squirreled away that side of the car parking area, and whew, that is it for me. I really, really hope you enjoyed that one. Something a little bit different. Obviously, I wasn't going to pull you around the entire car, going round each panel, because you really just needed to see the application. We might have a delivery. One moment. Just leave it there if you can, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers, buddy. Three, two, one. Right, my apologies. So yeah, I wasn't going to drag you round looking at every single panel, etc., but hopefully you saw enough of the installation to feel confident of how to put it on. It is crosshatch on, weight, you know, age duration. You'll know when it's highly fixated and like powder, it then becomes a little bit more labour intensive to get off, and I was starting to feel that in my shoulders. And that's not being a wuss, it's just that I have done a lot of car cleaning today. But quick on and off in the heat, it was nice. It was nice. Best tip, make sure all water spots are fully eradicated before application. But I'm happy with 95% of it. It's just the roof needs a little bit more attention. But there's always another day. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one as always. Garage therapy towels for the win. Oh, lovely. And again, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're enjoying the content, consider a like and subscribe. If not, no drama. And take very, very good care of yourselves. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.